Today we are ready to publish our latest HMO online to start generating interest in the rooms that we're going to have available around about a month from now. And I want to try something a little bit differently. Up until very recently, we exclusively used SpareRoom to fill all of our rooms, and we had few issues with this. It typically resulted in all of our rooms getting filled in a pretty timely manner. But recently, with increased competition, things have started to slow down a little bit. And on one of our properties where we had a few rooms come available recently, I decided to try and get it on Rightmove and Zoopla as well, and I did this through uPad. And the results were actually really impressive despite my initial thoughts about it maybe not working out quite so well. So I wanted to do a fair test this time. We've got a brand new property coming on the market, and I'm going to publish it on SpareRoom and on the other major portals through uPad at exactly the same time with exactly the same information, and see what sort of results that we get. So we know going forwards, is it worth doing it on SpareRoom only, uPad only, or a combination of both in order to get the best results and the best value for money as well. Now I'm going to get the advert set up on SpareRoom, and this is fairly standard practice. If you've been renting HMOs for any length of time, you're probably well familiar with the platform. Simply a case of uploading some pictures, a description, the different price points for each of the rooms, and hitting publish. So I'll get on with that just now and come back to you once it's ready. So whilst he's doing that, I'm going to get it set up on uPad, and I've already got the advert set up and ready to go. It's pretty similar to SpareRoom. There are a few minor differences, the main one being that the major portals, your Rightmoves and your Zooplas, aren't really set up for shared house advertising. So whereas on SpareRoom you can list out all the individual rooms that you've got available and put the prices in on the platform, on uPad there's not really a way to do that other than just typing it out in the advert text itself. So it makes it a little bit more clunky to deal with as and when different rooms are reserved. But the main advantage, or the main theoretical advantage at least, that we're going to try and prove or disprove one way or another, is that the more traditional portals have much wider reach. Now I would argue that they are not reaching necessarily as good quality an audience as SpareRoom. Obviously everyone on SpareRoom is there looking for a room in a shared house. They know the type of product that they're looking for. Whereas on Rightmove you may get a lot of people who are looking for full properties to rent exclusively. So the audience might not be as high quality. But like I say, I'm happy to try it. Our early tests have proven pretty positive, and it'll be really interesting to see what results of this more official, proper test will be. So hopefully you've got the advert finished now. Shall we get them live? Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it. Now, the SpareRoom advert will go online pretty much straight away. The one with uPad may take an hour or two before it's approved and then hits the major portals. That's all we're going to do for now though. We'll check back in a couple of days and see what progress we've had, which results we have had from each platform. Okay, so the advert's been live for about 2 days now, and we've had pretty comparable number of inquiries from both uPad and SpareRoom, so that's interesting. We are on our way down there now for our first set of viewings. I think we've got 5 or 6 viewings booked in. Again, split roughly 50-50 between uPad and SpareRoom, so far it's a pretty even race. Just a quick update following our viewings earlier in the week. So we had 5 people show up. I think there was maybe 6 booked in, one of them dropped out last minute, but of the 5 that came, 2 of them have confirmed that they want a room so far. So I mean, that's a reasonable response. Normally we expect about 50%, and given the house isn't anywhere near finished really, it's still about a month off being complete with flooring to go down and all that sort of stuff. It's a pretty good response. Hopefully maybe 1 or 2 more of them will come through in the next few days as well, saying that they're interested in rooms. But stick with us, and again, I'll give you another update in a few more days. It turns out this video is going to be a little bit shorter than I anticipated, but on the plus side, it means we have got all of our rooms reserved at Chestergate, which is an amazing success in a pretty short space of time. So I've just had the phone call from Catherine, our new lettings manager, that the 6th and final room was reserved today on the back of a viewing. Let's have a look at the statistics and see how uPad and SpareRoom pan out against each other at the end of the day. Obviously I've blanked out all of the names here, but you can see the rest of the data that we've been collecting. And starting with uPad, we had 6 inquiries in total over the course of 3 weeks and 2 days. 3 in the first week, 2 within the very first day, 1 on the next day. Then it went quiet for a little while. We had 1 the second week, and then we had 2 in that third and final week. Of those 6, we had 5 of them actually view the house. 1 of them was a no-show on our first group viewing night. I think originally we had 6 booked in and actually only 5 showed up. That one that didn't show up was from uPad. And of the 5 people that viewed, 3 of them went on to request a room. 2 of them passed our referencing checks. 1 of them didn't, unfortunately. So out of the 3.5 weeks on uPad, 6 requests, 5 actual viewings, 3 requests to move in, and 2 tenancies out of that. So 2 out of our 6 rooms, 1/3 in total, came from uPad. Then looking at SpareRoom, the stats weren't grossly different. We had 7 inquiries over the course of the 3 weeks. Again, 3 in the first week, right on the first day, in fact. Then it went a little bit quiet again. I'm not sure why that was. We had 2 in the second week, 2 in the final week. All 7 of them went on to book viewings, and all 7 showed up. And of those 7 that viewed, 5 of them requested a room, 4 of them passed, 1 of them didn't, so we've got 4 of them moving in. 4 out of 6, 4 out of 6 rooms taken, so 2/3, or 4 out of 7 viewings, so it's a pretty good conversion rate as well. Now in terms of drawing conclusions, I'm reluctant to say that one is significantly better or worse than the other. Obviously, if you look at the numbers, we had 4 tenants come from SpareRoom versus 2 from uPad, but it's a pretty small sample size. And if you look at it the other way around, if we had just had the property advertised on SpareRoom like we used to do historically, then at this point in time, we could only be 66% full instead of 100% full. And that's all thanks to having the advert up on uPad as well. So I guess the conclusion is, it is worth having both if you're serious about getting your rooms filled with the best quality tenants in the shortest space of time and achieving the highest rents possible. Now, I'm not suggesting that we got more rent because we had it on uPad versus SpareRoom, but certainly we didn't have to look at reducing rents because properties were sitting on the market for a long period of time. If you get your rooms rented quickly, then you can achieve the price that you asked for initially versus having to look for reductions. Now, I talked about the pricing of these back at the start of the video. I think SpareRoom's probably a little bit cheaper than uPad, but uPad is definitely a great tool that we're going to be adding to our arsenal for marketing properties from now on, particularly when we've got a whole house to fill. I think it's incredibly important to get it in front of the right people in the right places at the right time, and uPad is definitely a tool to help us do that. So great result for us. 3 weeks from first putting the property on both portals to having the house 100% reserved. We've only got about a week or 2 until the first tenants move in, so time to get back to it, get the house filled and filled with furniture and carpets. I mean, not with tenants, obviously they come later, but yeah, we got a little bit of work to do. Time to go and celebrate tonight though, and I'm sure we'll be back very soon with a video on the finishing touches on this house. But for now, I'd really appreciate it if you got some value from this video. Give it a thumbs up, like it, leave us a comment, and I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks a lot, guys.